Saudi rights activist Yahya Assiri, and he is the director for Alqst, an independent non-profit organization that promotes human rights in Saudi Arabia. And he's live for us in London. Thanks so much for joining us on the News Hour. First of all,
thank you for having me.
I want to ask you, what has surprised you or not surprised you about this story?
Honestly, I'm surprised because the government, the Saudi government, they can't reach this level from spying. So when they success with that, that's surprising me, because we don't expect it. That's happened with big company like Twitter. But it's not surprising that there's the attempt from the Saudi government, because they are trying to silence everyone inside the country. And they are taking people inside prison because of the single tweets. So if they try to reach someone outside the country, this is not surprising.
And Iyad al-Baghdadi, he has said the following, that the Twitter spying scandal started long before Jamal Khashoggi's murder. What do you make of these comments?
I believe this is accurate, because myself, I have been targeted by Baghdadi since 2017. So they started early, I think. And in Twitter, they started early because there is lots of human rights activists. They are inside the bars right now, and they face torture. And they have been arrested before the murder for Jamal Khashoggi. And they have been arrested because they already spied on them. And then when they spied on them, they gathered some evidence against them. They are communicating with the human rights groups and with the international media.
And don't you think then Silicon Valley, these companies, Twitter, which is the one we're talking about, do you think that they can protect dissidents?
They should protect their clients. And for now, because there is something happening, we will see what will happen from Twitter. We ask Twitter and we urge Twitter to open a trial against Saudi Arabia. They must complain against the court, against Saudi Arabia, because what's happened is completely unacceptable for us as individuals. It's so difficult for us to go to the court and to open a case against Saudi authority. But for Twitter, because they spied on us, but it was through Twitter, and we trusted Twitter, and we put our information on Twitter, and we contact people through Twitter. So for this issue, I believe this issue, it must be holding by Twitter itself, and they must follow up this issue, because it is right now between Twitter and Saudi Arabia.
And you say, you know, these are strong words. We trusted Twitter. So many of us, use Twitter. And yet you want Twitter to open a trial against Saudi Arabia. Do you think they will?
They should do that. Otherwise, they will abuse their reputation. And we know there is lots of platforms they used to be used by before Twitter. And people right now, they are using Twitter, and it is the most popular platform in Saudi Arabia. If they want to keep silence, and if they want to just ignore what's going on, people will not trust Twitter anymore, and they will lose their clients. And there is ethical responsibility on Twitter to do this. We, as human rights defenders and as Saudi citizens and as a victim for this hack system, we will fight as much as possible. We will continue fighting against spying people and trying to silence people. But at this moment, we shouldn't be alone. Twitter must be in our side at the moment.
Twitter should be on your side. And do you think that there are more people working for Twitter, spying for Saudi Arabia right now?
It is completely possible, because we have seen how come they started. They started with Ahmed. They started with him by giving him a gift, giving him a very luxury and expensive watch. Then they opened the window on Twitter by this man. At the moment, Ahmed is behind the bars. He has been arrested in the United States. But if we get the information about one person, we don't know about the others. So Twitter must make sure, even if people working inside Twitter, they are not just not sharing the information with others, but even not seeing information, they don't need to see it. Private messages, it shouldn't be seen by anyone, even if they are working inside Twitter. It's private messages. If someone knows people, they are reading his private messages, the trust, it will be destroyed completely, especially if it's have been seen by people working with authority, repressive authority, using this information to do torture, to kill people, like what's happened to Jamal Khashoggi. We don't know why they are so angry from Jamal Khashoggi. Maybe they spied on his phone and maybe they gathered some information against him, and maybe this information encouraged the repressive regime to commit this crime against Jamal, or to commit another crimes against people behind the bars, whether it's death penalty or torture or so on.
These are important words that you say, that Twitter could have known information that led to the murder of Jamal Khashoggi.
Yes, some words maybe led the government to do this stupid crime and this terrible crimes, because maybe they gathered lots of things. We know this authority doesn't accept anyone to criticize the regime, doesn't accept anyone to gather with others, to cooperate with others, to fight the violations and to fight the war crimes, even in Yemen and such places. So these things, it's make the regime nervous and make the regime committed crimes and violations.
Yahya, it's been fascinating speaking to you. Thanks so much for your time and sharing all this information with us. Yahya Assiri, thank you very much indeed.